lovely. Okay, so this says, we're actually going to talk about solving literal equations. We haven't finished the systems equations yet, but since last night's homework was actually practicing rewriting equations and solving for y, we're going to use that same concept and that same skill, right, to do this in a different way. Well, it's the same way, but it's on something slightly different. Before, last night, we were trying to convert it into y equals mx plus b, right? We were solving for y. Everybody with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes you are given a formula and you're asked to solve it not for y, but for another variable. And a formula has variables in it. When you see that word, a literal equation, it is an equation that has lots of variables in it, right? They're variable equations. They're formulas that then you would plug things into, like rate times time equals distance, right? Okay, so here's our first example. Solve rate times time equals distance for time, for t. You with me?
No.
In other words, when I say I want you to solve this for t, I want it to say t equals.
Oh, I get it.
All right? So you don't have numbers, you just have weird letters, right? So you still have to use algebra just like you would as though they were numbers. What's in the way
Divide
of
r.
t being all by itself?
Divide r. Subtract r. Divide r.
So this r, and what is this r doing to the t?
Multiplying.
So the opposite of
Dividing
multiply is divide. So I got to divide by r,
And it's
and that
t.
gives me t is equal to d over r. I'm done. All I had to do was solve for t. Okay, so let's try another one. Right? So let's try another one. Y. Oh wait, well, excuse me. I gotta write the word solve. Solve y equals mx plus b for m.
Oh, I get it.
Meaning I want it to say m equals.
So you subtract the b?
So what is in the way? Yes, the b is in the way for sure.
Subtract b.
I'm going to subtract my b. Let's see what that gives me.
It gives
I'm going to have to say y minus b. You guys agree with me? Equals m times x.
And then you have to divide by x.
And now the m is multiplying times the x, so the only way to get rid of the x, I can't
Divide
subtract it, is I have to divide it.
You
So
divide everything by x?
And the x's cross out, and I've got to divide this by x too.
What? This is weird. So why?
Yes, it's weird. It is weird. But it's really useful in real life. This is something that if you are a scientist or if you are doing, well, you'll see. There's lots of things where the times when this can be very useful. What?
So y equals mx.
So yes, and so my final answer, I like to put m on the left. So if this equals m, then m equals this. Do you agree with me? So I could just say m equals y minus b over x. Got it? Make sense? So you writing this down? You need to write these down. Everything I put on the
This
board.
is
you write
actually
did.
extremely easy.
Okay.
That's why.
It seems
Just-
almost too easy. That
Okay.
there would be a trick later.
May I erase? May I erase? Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, this
Question.
is all like used for whatever, but what is the
Rocket
point
science.
of doing it if you don't have numbers? Like, why do you need to?
Because the
figure it out
letters
if you don't
stand
have
for-
You will know when you do the backside of the homework tonight. Okay?
No.
It'll start to make sense, okay?
numbers? So it's a
Um,
standard test.
All right, so let's try another one.
Can we try with numbers, please? On our practice?
So let's try another one. Let's say I gave you this one. Wait, where was that one? Here we go. So this is number 3, right? Okay, here we go. Solve capital A is equal to small a plus b plus c plus D all over 4. Solve that.
Is that a like
For
real
C.
equation, Gary? Is that like a real?
Let's not worry about that for now.
That's
Let's
so
just
weird.
focus on this. I'm asking you to solve for C. So yes, what would you do?
What? So would you multiply by 1?
So Bella immediately noticed the fraction is the problem, isn't it? So if I get rid of the fraction, it's going to be way easier to solve for C.
How do you get rid of the fraction? Multiply.
How do you get rid of a fraction?
Oh, you multiply.
You multiply by the denominator, right? That's all you have to do to get rid of a fraction. Multiply it by the denominator. Right? Because if I multiply this by 4, which is 4 over 1, right? The 4's cross out. And I got to multiply this times 4. So suddenly I have 4a is equal to a plus b plus c plus d. I'm almost there. What do I have to do now? What's in the way of c being all by itself?
A, B, and D.
So I have to subtract, and I'm going to do this all at once.
Subtract
Watch this.
A,
Minus a,
Subtract B.
minus b,
Subtract B.
minus d. And I'm going to do minus a, minus b, minus d. I'm doing it all at once. So I now have 4a minus a minus b minus c is equal to,
Wait, minus D. No,
I mean minus d, sorry.
Gary.
Minus d equals c.
Oh my
Oh my God, Gary, you're a
And
wizard.
when they're long like that, it's okay to leave the c on the right. That's fine. Or you can always go like this, equals c.
And then
Right.
get rid of the C and punch in the face.
You really wanted to.
Okay, it makes sense? You getting it?
What is this used
Math.
All right, so what is this used for? Let's say I had a formula, C is equal to, well, see, I don't want to do this one because this is on the homework. Right, Beck? No, that'll work.
Do it, Gary.
It's backwards on homework. Okay, C is equal to, what is that formula?
Do it, Gary.
Oh, yeah, 5/9
Gary, don't do it.
F minus 32, right? This is the formula for Celsius versus Fahrenheit, the temperature, right?
Oh.
So I know, if I know how cold it is, if it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit, I can figure out what that is in Celsius, right?
Yeah.
By just plugging in the F, putting 20 in F, 20 minus 32, multiply that times that, and it would be a negative figure. It would be a negative number, right? That would be my Celsius. But let's say I wanted to know what is, I don't have the Fahrenheit temperatures, I have the Celsius height because my thermometer is broken, so I have to use this scientific thermometer that only gives me Celsius, doesn't give me Fahrenheit. But I need to know the Fahrenheit stuff, right? I could plug in, if I have a bunch of C's, I could put it
Gary's a
here,
plot hole.
and then I'd have to solve it. And it would be kind of hard, because I would have to eventually move it into F equals. Wouldn't it be better to move it into F equals now? And then, are you guys hearing me?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be better to move it into F equals now, so that I know Fahrenheit equals, and then I just plug my C into this gobbledygook, right, that I have. Then it's a little easier than starting with centigrade, which I know that one is, and then have the F is in the middle, and then I have to solve for F, and then eventually get the answer. It'd be easier if it just said F equals. Okay, yes.
Couldn't you just use Google?
Yeah.
That's like Google wasn't invented.
What if you're in a like? What if the internet goes down like this morning? Yeah.
So if I were going to do this one,
Yeah, there's this thing called data.
all right, here we go. This is
There's
number
this
4.
thing called like this computer
Last one.
thing that you can get a temperature thing on.
And something called service.
Okay, guys, can you focus? I have literally 1 minute to do
Something
this.
called phone.
So Jackson, I have 1 minute to finish this. So I'm going to ask, say, solve this for F. Okay? What would I do first? What's in the way?
The 5.5.
Well, the 32 trouble, unfortunately, is inside a parenthesis, and
You just minus 30, would you throw
I
down
have
to
this
the-
5
Oh, you
ninths.
gotta times by 9. You gotta times everything by 9, right?
No.
I could.
By five.
Come
But
on.
one thing that would be,
Read the problem to the front.
how could I turn 5/9 into 1? Multiply it by its,
Denominator.
Most common denominator.
Reciprocal.
reciprocal. If I multiply any fraction times its reciprocal, it becomes 1.
So 5.
So I'm gonna multiply this side times 9/5 and this side times 9/5. So that gives me 9/5 C equals, now I just have 1, right? This is just a 1. 1 times this is just this. Do you agree with me? F minus 32. This became 1. What's 1 times F minus 32? It's F minus 32.
And then you add 32 to each.
And now I just add 32 to both sides. Add 32 to both sides. And I'm fine with having F on the right-hand side. That's
Wait,
fine.
why would you multiply it? Why would you, wouldn't it be 5/9C? Because
I
the
multiply
original by the reciprocal,
5/9
sorry.
by its reciprocal.
never mind.
And so now my final
Hold on a
answer
minute.
is 9/5
Yeah, 4 minutes.
C
Plus
plus
4 minutes.
32 is equal to F. I'm done. Says F equals F. You with me? Did you write all this down? I want to see it. Bring it up. I want to see your notes.
Gary?
Yeah.
So, if, what if you have, what, if you have if you're multiplying a decimal, is there an easy way to get rid of it like there is with fraction?
Fractions have
Alright,
some wonderful advantages to them.